Sierra, Hotel, India, Echo, Lima, Delta, Shield.
Here we go, turn it up, let it start. From block to block, we snatching hearts and jacking marks. And the punk police can't fade me a minute. We can have this someday, but right now I got my mind set up. Looking down the bottle of a gun, get up. Get the time to let the pain back back to my brothers on the block, better stay strapped, right? And it's set no substitutes. I bring truth to the youth, tell the weak from the old school. Oh no, I won't turn the other cheek. Case you can't see us when we burn the other week. Now we got them in the smash, blast. How long will it last? Till the road get more cash. Until then, raise up, till the young black men blaze up. Like some don't stress, test. I'm giving but be thankful that you're living blessed. Much love to my brothers in the pen. See you when I free it, if not when they shove me in. Once again, this is all I'll strap. Keep your hands in your gap, now your boys watch your back. In the alleys, I'm down in my town. Got mess with the best and the best with the help. Scream if you feel it, see it clearly. You're too near me, holler if you hear me. Holler if you hear me. Holler if you hear me.
Sierra, Hotel, India, Echo, Lima, Delta, Shield.
What's going on, everybody? It's your boy Big Q. Once again, welcome everybody to the Shield podcast, brought to you by TeamBoydTV Turbo. And yeah, man, like the first debut episode was a little bit of a trip, right? You know, we went through some stuff, didn't we? You know what I'm saying? Like, a lot of y'all had some strong opinions on what I had to say in that podcast. And you know what? To each their own. You know what I mean? I ain't mad at nobody. I just want everybody to know I ain't mad at nobody. You know, it's like one of these things where, you know, podcasting is just that. You know, this is one of the things that we do to get our opinions out there. You know what I mean? And, you know, for you guys who got upset or, you know, maybe slightly offended by what I said, I mean, you know, it is what it is. You know what I mean? It is what it is. I told y'all when I started doing this podcast, I even gave y'all a week or two to digest it. I said, listen, this is going to be raw, rugged, and real. I said that. You know what I mean? And, you know, so listen, you know, here's the thing. When I do my stuff, I kind of do it for the people who are on the same page with me. You know, this podcast ain't for everybody. And a lot of the things that we do on TeamBoydTV Turbo are not for everybody. You know, and I'm not trying to please everybody. You understand what I'm saying? And that kind of thing. So, you know, it's just one of them things where, you know, we just had to do what we had to do. You know what I mean? And that's just the way it worked, okay? And to be straight up about it, you know, I got a few emails for some people. I got a bunch of comments on the podcast. And, you know, listen, I am not going to apologize for anything that I say on this podcast, the Black and Blue podcast, TeamBoydTV Live, TeamBoydTV Game Time. You know, because this is kind of my thing. You know what I mean? And you know, I do it for you guys, but, you know, at the same time, I'm not looking for you guys' acceptance. I'm really not. You know what I'm saying? I'm just saying I do it for you, but if you like it, great. If you don't, whatever. You know what I'm saying? And that's just the way I feel about it, you know? And I wanted to get these things off my chest right up front because, you know, it's something that's been kind of on my mind for like a week, you know, since I did the podcast last week. And, you know, I felt all kind of different ways about a lot of different things that I had experienced during last week after doing that podcast. And, you know, I just felt like, you know, I wanted to go ahead and clear the air, let everybody know, you know, people who said what they said, listen, I'm not mad at you, okay? You know, you got an opinion just like I have one, and that kind of thing. And, you know, if you're looking for an apology from me, it's probably not going to happen. I'm just saying. You're probably not going to get an apology. That's probably not going to happen because, you know, I'm a kind of person that kind of feels really, really strongly about, you know, the things that I see and the things that I say. You know, if it was a situation where, you know, I found out later on that I was wrong about something, then yes, I will come out and rectify that. But for the most part, you know, this stuff that we do is strictly subjective opinions from, you know, the people who kind of felt the way they felt about it. The whole idea behind doing this podcast in the first place was to get my opinions and my frustrations with things that's going on in the NFL that I don't particularly, you know, find, you know, that's good for the overall success of the whole entire thing. And that's the whole point. And that's why I named the thing The Shield. You know, it's my view on what I see in the NFL. Period. That's that. You know what I'm saying? But enough of all that. You know what I'm saying? I got a hell of a show for y'all today. And I hope hopefully I won't get myself in no trouble this week like I did last week. But time will tell. You know what I mean? But this week, man, we'll be taking a look at this little developing story out in Baltimore with Ray Rice, who has just recently received a 2-game suspension for his little domestic violence stuff that happened a couple months ago. That story, which is really cool because it's actually then kind of spawned into some other stuff where ESPN First Take anchor Stephen A. Smith has received a suspension from the company for some things that he said in regards to that particular story. We will talk about it here in a second. This also ties into another story that happened a couple weeks ago that I kind of been trying to find a way to get to, but with all of the things that we're doing, doesn't really have found time to really kind of dive into it and discuss it. Well, and it also ties into the same type of thing where there's some domestic violence stuff, so on and so forth, and it involves my man, the Kraken, Greg Hardy, and we're going to talk about that. Today's show won't be a really long show, but we will be talking about some of these things and getting right down to the nitty gritty. So we're going to go pay a visit to our sponsor, and when we come back, we will talk about all of this stuff in great detail and that kind of thing. So we'll be right back. In today's connected world, it's kind of hard to be heard or to get noticed. That's why an online presence is so vital. If you have a brand to promote, relying on social media just doesn't cut it these days. Although social media is a powerful way to build a following, there is nothing like having your own hosted website. That's where Domain.com comes in. Domain.com offers the very best in web hosting services, and with plans starting at just under $4 a month, it's super affordable as well. And now, because you guys are awesome TeamBoydTV Turbo subscribers, you can get yourself a sweet combo deal if you go to TeamBoydTV.com and click the Domain.com button. Once you click the button, you get redirected to the Domain.com promo page, where once you sign up and use the promo code DOMFREE, that's DOMFREE, you can get yourself a free domain name. That's a free website that you can use to build your audience. And Domain.com web hosting is packed with bonus features too. Check this out. All web hosting plans come with $100 Google AdWords bonus, $50 Yahoo/Bing search marketing credit, $50 in Facebook advertising, a free YellowPages.com listing, and get this, a free toll-free phone number if you live in the U.S. And if you're like me and you know nothing about website design, Domain.com even has the awesomely easy drag-and-drop site builder to get you up and running right away. So what are you waiting for? There's no excuse not to get your online presence rolling right now. Remember, go to TeamBoydTV.com, click the Domain.com button, and use the promo code DOMFREE to get your free domain to use for your website today.
What up, peeps? When you're done listening to our partners at TeamBoydTV and you want to hear more sports talk that is no holds barred, just like at your favorite barbershop, come on over to Get With It Sports, a place where you get your sports with a little swag. Check out our videos on YouTube at Get With It Sports 2, that's the number 2, and watch Glass and Brandon as they give you their best in the NFL, NBA, and MLB sports talk. Also, check out our blog page at getwithitsports.wordpress.com. Thanks, and see you there.
Okay, so here's the deal. Okay, so earlier this month, my main man, my boy, the Kraken, number 76 for the Carolina Panthers, Greg Hardy, he went to court, and things didn't kind of go the way he wanted them to go in court that day. Basically, that's all stemmed from an altercation that he had a little earlier. I think it was a couple months beforehand, right after the season ended. He got into this little confrontation with his then girlfriend. I think her name was Nicole Holder. Y'all know the story. I covered it on one of the Black and Blue podcast episodes when the story was fresh. Either way, I'm not here to rehash the story. My whole thing is here. I'm here to just kind of give you my take on this whole thing because it seemed like it is a little bit of a problem. The reason why I want to start here is because you'll see, how this Ray Rice situation kind of plays into the whole thing. Okay, first things first. I'm gonna say this because this is where dudes with money get in trouble. You know what I'm saying? This is where dudes with money get in trouble. It's one thing to kind of flash and flaunt. You know what? To be honest with you, let's just cut it. Let's get straight to the chase. You know what I mean? Anytime you involve women in situations where dudes with money, bad things happen. All the time. It just does. You know what I'm saying? Like, and especially the type of chicks that money kind of attracts. You get these weird type of broads, right? and that's just the way it is, you know. So, you know, and no disrespect to Greg Hardy, because that's my boy, man. I've talked to him on plenty of occasions, man. You know, like, that's my dude. Like, I am not mad at Greg Hardy for nothing. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, look, and then everybody want to put their own spin on the story, and everybody want to say how they feel about the story, this, that, and the third. You know, he shouldn't have, you know, put his hands on it, this, that, and the third. The guns and all that kind of crap. You know what I mean? And it is what it is. You know what I'm saying? Like, he just like every other American in this country, can do whatever they want. If he want to have a whole bunch of guns in his crib and stuff, like, look, I think it's silly. You know what I'm saying? Like, if next time I see him, you know what I mean, I let him know that I think having that many guns in your crib is a little silly. You know what I'm saying? And that's a whole different story. You know what I mean? But, you know, but he get into this thing with this chick over some Nelly crap. You know what I'm saying? They're in the club, Nelly song come on, you know, blah, blah, blah. Y'all know how it goes. It's ridiculous, right? You know, a little bit too much to drink. Some other stuff might have been going on, too. Who knows? They get into a little altercation. Nobody knows exactly what went down. All we know is that he was the one who called those authorities. You know, this, that, and the third. But, you know, they show up saying she looked like she had some bruises and a couple scratches on the face. He shoved her into a couch with some guns on it. Blah, blah, blah. Either way, to make a long story short, dude ends up going to court. You know what I'm saying? They slap him with this ridiculous stuff. You know, he found guilty for all the nonsense that she said. You know, this is the same chick who was kind of like she was ducking the preliminary court hearings and stuff, you know, almost threatening to not show up. This, that, and the third, realizing that she might have messed up because, you know, she was with a dude who had a little bit of cake, and now, you know, she dragging him through all this nonsense. Maybe she'll write a tell-all book or something. You know what? It's crazy to me. I don't understand, like, and maybe I can say this because I'm not one of those guys. I don't have a whole lot of money. You know, and I'm not all up in the clubs and stuff like that. But, you know, you would think that at this point, these dudes would realize that, you know what, I ain't got time for this. You know what I'm saying? My money is more important than this nonsense. You know what I'm saying? And, you know, look, and you know the type of chick that you're dealing with. You know what I'm saying? And that's the whole point right there. You know what I'm saying? You know the type of chick that you're dealing with. You know, it ain't like, you know, y'all been chilling for like 3 months or so, and then all of a sudden, she's somebody different. You know what I mean? You know what type of chick you're dealing with. Bottom line, you know what type of chick you're dealing with, and you know, for you to get all crazy like that, you know, like I say, you know, with alcohol and other things, kind of, you know, in the heat of the moment, you know, stuff happens, you know, and there's been a big discussion lately about, you know, women provoking men and so on and so forth, and what's right and what's not, and all this kind of stuff. And I mean, that's all subjective. You know, it depends on who you talk to. You know, I'm not I'm not one of them type of guys who condones all that kind of stuff. You know what I mean? And I mean, you know what? I don't want to go super personal, and you know, and all that kind of stuff. But you know, I come from a background where I've seen that up close and personal. You know what I'm saying? With my parents. You know what I mean? And it ain't one of them things where, you know, it is not necessarily a good look for a black man. I'm just gonna throw that out there. You know, I've seen it, I lived it, I know what it's about. And, you know, I can remember one Christmas Eve or whatever, you know, some real bad stuff went down between my parents or whatever, you know, and I don't know where it started from. You know, it could have been my mom, it could have been I don't know, you know what I'm saying? All I know is that, you know, it was alcohol involved, people get crazy, stuff happens, you know, and I just remember that. And I remember how I said to myself that no matter what I do as a grown man, I'm not going to find myself in those situations like that. And, you know, and it's been, you know, relationships that I've been in where, you know, my lady got a little crazy and, you know, did some things. And I found myself in some domestic situations like that too. But, you know, I was smart enough to say, listen, you know, you over there getting all crazy and whatnot, you probably need to go. You know, especially like if you can control a situation, then you just being the bigger man. You know what I'm saying? So, look, I'm not going to sit here and get into no physical stuff with you. You sitting there throwing things at me and whatnot. I'm just saying, I ain't got time for it, you know, because I know what's going to happen. You know what I'm saying? No matter, like, if you the one starting it or whatever the case may be, as soon as I put my hands on you, I'm the bad guy. And that's the part that I don't understand that these dudes don't get. You know, that as soon as you touch that woman, you the bad guy. You know what I'm saying? And that's just the bottom line. Ain't no way around that. Ain't no court nowhere in America gonna sit there and say, oh, well, she did do this, that, and the third, and blah, blah, blah. It's just the way the culture is set up. You know, we are, as men, we are just not ever going to get away with something like that. You know, no matter what happens, you know what I'm saying? Now, you know, I guess if it was super violent stuff and it's on some self-defense type situations, it's a little bit different. We're talking about somebody like Greg Hardy, 275-pound monster, you know what I'm saying, against a little woman. I don't know how much self-defense that's about unless she got a gun or something. You know, same thing with Ray Rice, man. You know, it's just a weird situation. And for the most part, it's like I don't understand why these dudes getting themselves involved in that, man. I don't know. That part right there puzzles me. There's no way. If I got all this stuff going on in my life, all these big things that I'm trying to do, I'm not gonna let this crazy woman. I'm saying crazy woman. I'm not saying that she was crazy or anything like that. I'm just saying in that particular moment, she was acting a little bit out of character. That's all I'm saying. Okay, because I know I have to really explain myself and articulate myself clearly on this podcast because a lot of people seem to take what I say out of context and do what they need to do with it. But I'm just saying, I ain't saying the woman was a lunatic. I'm just saying in the heat of the moment, she was acting out of character. That's what I'm saying. But I'm not gonna let something like that little moment right there would never happen to somebody like me because I'm saying I'm not gonna be dealing with it. See, you guys gotta understand. There come a point where in an altercation like that, sometimes you just gotta be smart and just walk away. I mean, we've seen all the look, and the sad part about it is that now they're talking about how this may affect Greg Hardy going forward. I'm pretty sure that the Carolina Panthers brass had some really nice stuff drawn up for him, or a couple different versions of a contract for him or whatever. Because they really wanted him to stay here in Charlotte. I don't know how that's going to affect that. I don't know. I don't know if they're going to rip that up and say, you know what, this dude might be a problem. You know what I'm saying? Maybe let's lower some of these numbers or whatever the case may be. It's a lot of ridiculous stuff. You know what I'm saying? That goes into that. So you put yourself in a bad position because of a few seconds of ridiculousness that was happening in his house. You know what I'm saying? That it shouldn't happen in the first place. That's all I'm saying. You know what I mean? That's what I'm saying about it. And and for the most part, like I said, Greg Hardy is my boy. Like I said, I talk to him all the time. And I admit I haven't seen him in like 2 or 3 months. But you know what I'm saying? He's a cool ass dude. People who haven't got a chance to really get to know Greg Hardy, he is a cool dude, man. Like honestly, when the story came out, I couldn't really believe it. I refused to believe it because I've talked to this man so many times that he didn't seem like the type of guy, number one, that had him kind of guns up in his crib. And number two, to be getting involved in situations like that. But hey, you know what I'm saying? Like, people only let you know about them what they want you to know about them. You know what I mean? And that's just the way it is. And so at the end of the day, you know what I'm saying? Especially in a situation like this is where it starts. This situation is bad for all dudes. You know what I'm saying? And this goes outside of the scope of football. I mean, everybody know about the stuff that happened with Chris Brown and Rihanna a couple years ago, so on and so forth. And there's always some situation where some dude get into a physical confrontation with some chick, and the dude is the one who ends up paying the price for it. And that's just the way it is. You know what I mean? Ain't no way around it. And dudes, we can sit back and be like, oh man, that's crazy. That's messed up. But you know what though? It is what it is. So we put ourselves in that situation. That's why we pay the price for it. And you would think that as long as it's been going on, these dudes would know better. You know what I'm saying? Now, when I come back from this break right here, things gonna get a little crazy because we're gonna talk about Ray Rice for a little bit and Stephen A. Smith and all that kind of stuff, and things get a little crazy. We'll be right back.
Yo, JB from TeamBoydTV, co-host of TeamBoydTV Live every Wednesday, 7:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, where we'll be discussing updates, breakdowns, and just about everything NFL. Hosted by yours truly, Big Q, co-hosted by me, JB, and my boy Glass from Get With It Sports. If some reason you missed the show, still haven't had your fill, visit TeamBoydTV.com.
What up, football fans? You want to stay up on the latest of TeamBoydTV happenings? Like us on our Facebook page at TeamBoydTV on Facebook. You can also follow us on Twitter at TeamBoydTV and at VernieB73. You can also check out our YouTube page at TeamBoydTV Turbo. There's live events, videos, among other things. You can also keep up with the latest happenings, live chats, question and answer sessions on Google Plus at TeamBoydTV. Thank you once again for watching TeamBoydTV. To our program. All right, man. Welcome back, everybody. Listen, this is the part of the program where shit gets really, really real. This is where it gets real. There's a lot of layers to this situation right here. There's a lot of things that I'm a little bit upset about, and a lot of things that some people may get mad at me for saying. But you know what? I don't never give a damn, and I ain't gonna give a damn in this particular situation either. First and foremost, let me say this right off the bat. Just last week, just like I got on my podcast and I was saying how, was talking about Tony Dungy, right? And, he made his little comments about the whole Michael Sam situation that everybody blew up and took out of proportion and so on and so forth. And so, just like I was on a podcast saying, ain't no way in the world, if I was Tony Dungy, I would come out even trying to clarify that situation or apologize for that situation because I didn't see absolutely nothing wrong with what he said. Same thing happens with Stephen A. Smith. He made his little statement, right? And you guys heard the sound clip. You heard what it was about. And basically he was just saying the same thing, like, how it's two parties involved in domestic violence. Women shouldn't be doing things that make a dude want to put hands on them. And, as soon as he said that, people were like, I was cringing a little bit. I said, you know what, they're going to roast his ass for this. They are going to roast his ass for this because, you know what, they always looking for some kind of reason to nail some black man down somewhere. And this was perfect. You know what I'm saying? And just like Tony Dungy had to come out and clarify his little situations, Stephen A. Smith came out on TV the next day. Y'all heard the sound clip. He apologized for what he said and whatnot, this, that, and the third, which I didn't think he had to. And Stephen A. Smith said just a couple days before this whole incident went down is that if he was Tony Dungy, he would not apologize. But look at him. He having to apologize because they put that pressure on him at ESPN and all this kind of stuff because people were saying what they were saying on social media. And again, like I said last week, you people on social media are ridiculous. You know what I'm saying? I understand, everybody want their little voice to be heard. But see, sometimes y'all just need to shut the hell up. You know what I'm saying? Because your opinions just get people in more and more trouble because if one jackass says one thing, the next thing you know, 7,000 more agreeing with this asshole about stupid stuff that don't even make sense. You know what I'm saying? You don't know nothing about the situation, but yet still you want to sit there and go on Twitter and say what you want to say about it. Next thing you know, the hammer is dropping on Mr. Stephen A. Smith. He gets suspended for that nonsense, right? After that, I made him look like a fool coming up there apologize for something he really didn't need to apologize for in the first place. Now, with that out of the way, and I know, y'all may not agree with that. Y'all might get a little upset. Y'all might be pissed off like y'all were last week. I don't give a damn. You know what I'm saying? I don't care. So, this all stems off the Ray Rice situation, right? And with this Ray Rice situation, I'm just completely like at a loss for words with this whole crazy, bizarre situation, So the story is this, and everybody saw the footage and all this kind of crap. Apparently, Ray Rice knocked this woman unconscious. They got into an altercation in the elevator, and the footage shows him dragging the unconscious woman out of the elevator. This, that, and the third, right? So he goes to court, and this is the thing that's really crazy about it. Goes to court, she's sitting up there, she's speaking for him, and she's saying this, that, and the third, and she's trying to cover for him. And keep in mind that at the time they were engaged. By the time they get to court, they married, right? So everything is cool in their household. Everything is good with them. Whatever happened between them, it was cool. Apparently they reconciled about it. It was fine. They got married. She up in court testifying with him. She giving her account of the situation, clearing him of all the stuff, right? It was between them, you know what I'm saying? But just because some nosy ass people happened to catch it on camera and wanted to get famous and put it all over social media, now this dude is in trouble. You know what I'm saying? This is the kind of shit I'm talking about. This is the kind of stuff that I get upset about. Now, I understand. There's rules and regulations and this, that, and the third, and rules of conduct and the player conduct policy and this, that, and the third, right? I get it. I'm not ignoring that. Okay, so in case you guys ready to start typing in the comment box about the player conduct policy and all this kind of crap, trust me, I recognize that. Okay, I'm not saying they don't make no. All I'm saying is this: you and your girlfriend or you and your fiance get into some type of little situation between you and her, right? And it's bad for whatever reason. It gets really crazy. You end up knocking the girl out. This, that, and the third. Let's say there was no cameras there. Let's say nobody captured that, right? And then you and your girlfriend or your fiance, y'all reconcile and y'all move past that. Y'all apologize to one another. Y'all go on and y'all get married. Y'all still in love. Everything cool between y'all, right? So, does that make it okay? Or was just because the damn cameras was there and they captured the thing and they put it all over social media and it's all over the internet and all over the ESPN and NFL network? Is that what made it bad? You know what I'm saying? And that's what I need. That's what I need to know. You know what I'm saying? Because now you know, they're saying, oh my God, you know, he beat that woman senseless and drug her out of the elevator. This, you wasn't there. You don't know what the hell happened. You know what I'm saying? And you know, and the thing is this, and this is where, you know, I get a little, you know, this is where first of all, that's what I'm saying. I'm saying if things went the way they did, and Ray Rice and his wife, and who was his wife now, reconciled and everything is good and they married and they okay in their relationship and everything's fine, you know, then that's one thing. But then, you know, since it did go down the way it did and it got captured on film and the NFL got involved and they wanted to suspend the guy for 2 games, okay, that's a different story. Okay, that's a different story. Now, I ain't saying that, you know, what Ray Rice did was good. I ain't saying that I condone it, just like I ain't condoning what Greg Hardy did. I'm not condoning that. You know what I'm saying? All I'm saying is this right here. You need to mind your own damn business. That's what I'm saying. But since we're going to take it there, let's take it there. If you're the NFL and you feel like, oh my God, this is such a heinous act, this is crazy, we need to do something about this, why didn't you go all the way? You know what I'm saying? If you want to make a statement, if you want to like, you know, use this situation as an example, go all the way. What you scared of? You're pussyfooting around a situation when you understand, like, you got a situation, a perfect situation where if you want to put an end to this bullshit, you do it right here. You know, you're going to sit there and you're going to ban Josh Gordon for a whole entire year for what may or may not be a complete case of substance abuse. We've seen a report come out today where, you know, depending on the situation, he could have got off with that. But he gone for a year. This man goes inside his wife's head, drag her unconscious ass body out of an elevator, and suspend him for 2 games when you had the opportunity right here to drop the hammer on this whole shit right now. You know what I'm saying? He's the one who should have been getting a year suspension if you really wanted to get your point across. Roger Goodell. You know what I'm saying? This would have been a perfect time to do it. You know what I'm saying? This would have been a perfect time to do it. And you didn't do it. Now the question is this. Why didn't you do it? What you scared of? You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, you sitting there, you all nervous about what women are saying all over Twitter and on the internet and on social media. You're scared of what they're saying, and you go and you call up ESPN and you tell them to go ahead and fire they resident, you know, black person in the studio because of some comments that he made. And so you know, but then again, you're just only gonna slap the guy on the wrist with a 2-game suspension. You people are funny to me. You know what I'm saying? Y'all are funny as hell to me. That right there makes absolutely no sense. You know what I'm saying? And again, I ain't got nothing against Ray Rice. You know what I'm saying? I think he's a cool dude. You know, he ain't never got in trouble before this. No history of violence, none of that kind of stuff. But I'm just saying, you know, you trying to, you know, make a statement with the whole drug abuse stuff, which may or may not even been a real deal drug abuse situation. You don't even know for sure. You know what I'm saying? 'Cause this is going to look bad on the league. This is going to look bad, especially since Josh Gordon is repealing this whole situation. If he ended up getting off on this and Ray Rice is only going to serve a 2-game suspension for what we clearly saw on camera, him dragging his unconscious ass wife out of an elevator, this ain't going to look good. This is not going to be a good look. I'm just throwing it out there. You know what I'm saying? And this is what's wrong. This is what's wrong when you try to sensationalize stupid stuff, and then when serious stuff goes down, you just slap people on the wrist and move along with it. You know, I mean, even Ben Roethlisberger got a 4-game suspension for the stuff that he did. 4-game suspension. You know, and wasn't nobody unconscious in that situation. Wasn't nobody getting drug out of an elevator in that situation. He got a 4-game suspension. You know what I'm saying? We got video proof of Ray Rice dragging his unconscious wife out of an elevator. 2-game suspension. You're punking out NFL. You're being a bunch of bitches right now, and that's my take on it. You know what I'm saying? That's my take. The whole suspending of Stephen A. Smith for what he said, taking shit out of context, and then only suspending Ray Rice for 2 games when you clearly had an opportunity to drop the hammer on this son bitch and clear this whole thing up. You know, clean your name up. You know, make it look like you ain't playing. Be serious with these assholes, right? But you backed off. You know what I'm saying? And y'all always talking to the wrong people. You know, talking to the wrong people. You got Tony Dungy under fire. You got Pam Oliver under fire. You got Stephen A. Smith under fire. You got Josh Gordon under fire. But you slaps hurt people on the wrist. Tell them to move along. You know, like the owner out in Indianapolis. You know what I'm saying? Like, what was that about? You know what I'm saying? Did he get suspended for a year? I don't think so. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know. It baffles me to think about this stupid shit. It really does. You know what I'm saying? Like, this, and this is the stuff that takes away from the game. And, you know, everybody love talking about distractions, this and distractions, that. Yeah, distractions this and distractions that. But, you know, this is the distraction we're talking about. When you have stupid crap like this going on. You know, it makes no sense. You know, and I don't know who the one sitting around a table trying to decide, you know, who gets suspended for how long for doing what. But, you know, it got to be some kind of standards here, man. This don't even make no sense. You know what I'm saying? And, you know, and furthermore, you know, and I'm gonna say this one more time before I wrap this show up. Anybody who does not agree with what I said, number one, I don't give a damn. But number two is, this is my opinion. You know what I'm saying? I'm not sitting up here saying that I'm sitting up here and I'm some kind of prophet and what I speak is the absolute truth and there's no gray area here and there. That's how I feel about it, man. This is my opinion. You know what I'm saying? So you can save your emails, you can save your negative comments, or you can continue doing them. I mean, you know, it's all good. I don't really care. You know what I'm saying? But it is what it is. You know, I do this podcast because I want to get my thoughts out. I want to get my opinions out and the way I feel about stuff. And this is how I feel about that. You know what I'm saying? And again, I'm not condoning Greg Hardy. Like I said, you know, I co-sign Greg Hardy as my boy all the time. You know what I'm saying? But I ain't condoning what he did here. You know, or, you know, what he allegedly done, because we still don't know what happened. We're nobody in it. We ain't got no video proof footage of this. You know what I'm saying? We're going on what some woman said. You know, and clearly she got her own issues. You know what I'm saying? So how credible is she anyway? You know what I'm saying? But that's a whole nother topic. You know what I mean? That's a whole other topic. And these are the things that a lot of you guys ain't really looking at. You're looking at the crazy stuff that goes on TV and the things that they decide to show you, and you buy into it. Not really thinking about the big picture and what's really going on behind the scenes. You know what I'm saying? You know, this whole thing is about control. And they want to control everything. And this is why I love doing this internet shit, because can't nobody tell me what to do. Can't nobody tell me not, you know, what not to say. I can say whatever the hell I want, you know, and ain't nobody gonna sit here and tell me not to. And you know, and for the most part, I like it that way. You know what I'm saying? I like it that way. Because as soon as you kind of move up to the next level, you know, now you got people trying to clamp you down, trying to put silencers on you and stuff. Trying to get you to do and say what they want you to do and say. You know what I'm saying? It ain't the way real life works, man. You know what I'm saying? We live in a country where we can do whatever we want to do, you know? And just because all you social media people, you know, who love sensationalizing dumb shit, you know, this is why we always in situations like this. That's why we always sitting around talking about stuff that we shouldn't really be talking about. We're on the eve of the preseason getting ready to start. You're right there at the cusp of it. The season's getting ready to get underway. And I am so glad that football season's getting ready to start, because a lot of bullshit has been going on that's been absolutely getting on my nerves. And I'm surprised that I have to sit here and talk about this stupid shit all the time. And I want to talk about football. That's what I want to talk about. You know what I'm saying? Instead of this dumb stuff. You know what I mean? And again, I don't care how you take it. I really don't. You know, I thank you for listening. You know what I'm saying? But I don't care how you take it. If you agree with me, like I said, okay, good for you. If you disagree, whatever. I don't care. You know what I'm saying? And you know, and for the people who support what I do, I will say this. I want to thank you guys. I want to thank everybody who support what I do. You know, from people like Glass from Get With It Sports, Louis T, you know, my brother JB, my wife Vernie B, you know, everybody else who kind of rolling with the Team Boy TV Turbo thing, and they support what I do. I give you guys props, because y'all guys know who I am. Y'all know what I do. This ain't about singling nobody out and saying, oh, you're wrong and I'm right. This is about my opinion versus yours. You know, and everybody can have their own opinion. You know, if you feel a certain way about it, cam up. Make a podcast, do something. Don't be sitting there, you know, with a pictureless profile, stupid trolling comment on my videos and on my stuff. You know what I'm saying? Do something about it. If you know, writing a comment, easy. Anybody can do that. You know, anybody can write a comment on somebody's stuff. You know what I'm saying? But it take nuts. It take some big ass balls to get up on a podcast or get up on YouTube, you know, in front of a camera and say how you really feel about stuff. And that's what I do. And I'm proud of that. You know, and for whoever don't like it, again, I say, you know, you can do what you want to do with it. You know, and again, for the ones who support me, I thank you. And listen, you know, like always, man, I thank you guys who do support me. I thank you for all the guys who follow me on Twitter at TeamBoydTV, you know, and all the ones who are subscribed to the channel over at YouTube at TeamBoydTV Turbo. We appreciate everything that y'all doing, and we ain't gonna change, man. You know what I'm saying? We ain't gonna change. In fact, you know what? The bigger we get, the louder our voice is gonna be. You know what I'm saying? And listen, I look forward to seeing you guys on the Wednesday night edition of Team Boyd TV Live. We'll be breaking down the AFC North, JB's division, and we'll be having a little bit of fun with that. Until next time, man, y'all take it easy. I'm your boy Big Q, and I'm out. Peace.
Will I quit? They claim that I'm violent, but still I kick. Representing, never give up on a good thing. We stop it if we could, it's a hood thing. And now I'm like a major threat, cause I remind you of the things you were made to forget. make crime pay, others make crime pay. Whatever it takes to live and stand, there's nobody else to give a damn. So we live like cage beasts, waiting for the day to let the waves free. Still me till they kill me. I love it when they fear me. Holla if you hear 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 me. You're too near me, see it clearly. Holla if you hear me. You're too near me, see it clearly. Holla if you hear me. You're too near me, see it clearly. Holla if you hear me. You're too near me, see it clearly. Holla if you hear me.
Sierra Hotel, India, Echo, Lima, Delta.
I love it when they fear me. Holla if you hear me. I love it when they fear me. Holla if you hear me.